Everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 110. In this lesson, we will teach the student about another exception to the R-controlled syllable. This is when there's a vowel followed by RR. Let's begin by setting up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, and if the student has finished that list, then you can move on to the top 290 word list. You can find this word list by going to the flyingcatacademy.com website. Go to the guided lessons section and look for the subpage called Extra Resources. You'll need the teacher instruction sheet, the student's sight word card pack, some blank cards, a highlighter, markers, and some pencils. For the phonemic awareness drill, you need the teacher instruction sheet and the colored tiles for the student. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the student's card pack. We'll have a syllable card drill in this lesson, so you'll have to have that one cut out and ready to go on the table. For the magnetic letter tile drills for reading and spelling, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the cookie sheet with the letters spread in a rainbow shape for the student. You'll need the syllable pounding instruction sheet, the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic discovery sheet, and the sheets for the lesson. In addition to all of that, you will probably have a timer on the table because you've introduced a fluency element to the lesson, which you need to do at some point once the student has solid phonemic awareness and decoding skills, and you need a secondary program such as Read Naturally or the 6-Minute Reading Solution to do this. Let's begin with the sight word study method. Student, could you take out your sight word card pack? And what I'd like you to do is read all the words in your card pack, and after you read a word correctly, put a check mark in the corner of the card. When you're finished reading all the cards, hand the card pack to your teacher, and then it's your teacher's turn to read. Your teacher reads each of the cards, and student, then you write down the word that's on the card that you hear your teacher say. Then check your work, and if you got it correct, then you will put a check mark on the card. After you finish with the task, have a quick discussion about which of those words has been mastered. The mastered words will be removed from the card pack. This leaves space so that you can introduce a new sight word. Now it's time for the phonemic awareness drill. Student, you're going to need your colored tiles for this one. Can you say Now take out a colored tile and call it Okay, take out a second colored tile, put it on the front, and call it Now tap and say the word. Did you say that your word is her, as in that was her book? If you did, that's right. Take out a new tile, call it D. Can you repeat that sound? Now put the D onto the end of her and tap and say your new word. Did you say this word was herd? There were a herd of elephants? That's right. Okay. I would like you to change the in herd to a B. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say bird? If you did, that's right. Now find the D in bird. Change the D into a T. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say Bert? If you did, that's right. Now in the space between the B and the I'd like you to put a O. Now tap and say your new word. Did you say blurt? I will blurt it out. Yes, you did. That's great. Change the B into a F. And what's your new word? Did you say flirt? If you did, that's right. You can put your tiles away. Let's do the visual drill. Student, what sound does this one make? Did you say If you did, that's right. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. Let's do the auditory drill. Student, your sound is or. Can you repeat that sound? Now, how would you write or? I'd like you to write the grapheme for or. Say or as you write it down, and when you're finished, underline it and say the sound again. Then we'll check your work. Did you spell it O-R? If you did, that's right. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. Now it's time to do the syllable card drill. Your teacher has this one all ready to go on the table. Student, you're going to read down all the syllables in column number 1, and then read down all the syllables in column number 2. Then you read across the rows, making nonsense words as you go. Finally, it's time to unscramble things, so move around those syllables that are in column number 2 so that they match up with different ones in column number 1 to form real words. Remember to discuss the meanings of these words that you create and to put some of them into sentences. Let's do some syllable pounding, and I'm going to use real words and nonsense words. Student, can you say har? How many syllables do you hear in har? Let's see. Har. I just hear one. It's an R-controlled AR sound of R. How about this one? Harbor. The ship came into the harbor. That one's a real word. How many syllables in harbor? Let's try it. Harbor. There's 2. It's the AR combo of har and the OR combo of or. Try this one. Thirsty. How many syllables do you hear in thirsty? Thirsty. 2. How about this one? Popular. How many? Popular. 3. Okay, let's do a little bit of scooping syllables. So I'd like you to take out your scooping syllable worksheet. And teacher, you can take out the teacher answer key. And student, as you're working through the different words, I would like you to discuss your thinking. We're going to practice adding suffixes to bases that are of different syllable types. And you're thinking about what great spelling rule is going to come into play for each of the different syllable types. We have 2 worksheets that are going to help us with this task. As you're working through the word sums, it's a great idea to discuss your thinking. Let's move into the new content part of the lesson. As always, we'll start with what we know. So student, what is the definition of an R-controlled syllable? What does it mean to be an R-controlled syllable? You can use your rule card if you want. I'll put it up here. And tell your teacher now. Okay, did you explain that when there's one vowel followed by an R, it's very difficult to make the vowel sound properly, so we don't even try. This is because R is a very difficult sound to say. So instead of making the apple, Eddie, itchy, olive, or up sounds, we make a sound that's not long, it's not short, it's just different. For example, what sound do we make when A is followed by R? We name the R, we say that's R, as in car. And what is the sound of OR? Did you say or? Right? It's not that olive sound that you would expect. Okay, and then with ER, IR, and UR, we all have the same sound here. So what sound does this one make? It's the sound that an R would make. We just pretend we don't even make a sound here. It's just sitting there silently. So this one is and this one, tell your teacher. That one's saying In today's lesson, we're going to discuss an exception to the R-controlled syllable. And this is when we have an E followed by 2 R's. And here's an example. B-E-R-R-Y. If this was following the R-controlled rules that we've learned, and when we see an ER, we would say So what would this word be if we were reading it as we think it would be read? This would be burry. But that's not true. Instead, this word is berry. So we hear the Eddie sound come in. It's the short E sound. So this is what I'm talking about with this exception rule. When we have an E or a vowel followed by RR, doesn't have to be an E, it could be a different one. Then this vowel is going to say its short sound. Let's look at some examples. Can you take out the rule card that was provided for you? So we'll look at the example of C-A-R-R-Y. We have learned that A-R should say R. So you would expect this word to be curry. But because it's a vowel followed by 2 R's, we're going to try and say the short vowel sound. This becomes carry. I will carry it up the hill. Try this one. H-U-R-R-Y. What's that word? Try to say it with hurry. It's hurry. So that's when it's U, it actually still maintains that sound, because that is, the sound is what you would expect the U to do. Practice this idea that when we have one vowel and it's followed by 2 R's, the vowel will say its short sound. We'll do this by doing the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. Your sound is K. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is air. Can you repeat that? Now find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Your sound is Can you repeat that? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is E. Can you repeat that? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Tap and say the word. Did you say that this word is carry? I will carry the bucket. If you did, that's right. And we spell this word C-A-R-R-Y. Now, teacher, if you have time, you can do more words in this way. And if not, then you can move on and have the student read the single word list, and then the short story, and then they'll do the fluency element. Now let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for spelling. You'll need your cookie sheet with your letters spread in a rainbow shape. Your word is hurry. Can you say that word? I might say, I had to rush because I was in a hurry. What's the first sound that you hear in hurry? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in hurry? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in hurry? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in hurry? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap and say the word. Did you spell hurry H-U-R-R-Y? If you did, that's right. Okay, put those tiles back and let's try a new word. Your word is harmed. Can you repeat that word? I might say, he has not harmed anyone. What's the first sound that you hear in harmed? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in harmed? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in harmed? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in harmed? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Now tap it and say it. Did you spell harmed? H-A-R-M is the base and E-D as the suffix. If you did, that's right. Teacher, if you have more time, then you can do more words in this way. And if not, then student, grab your pencil and take out a lined piece of paper because it's time to write some single words. Okay, your word is correct. Can you say that word? I'd like you to tap out the sounds in correct and then say the whole word and then write it down. Okay. Did you spell this one C-O-R-R-E-C-T? If you did, that's right. All right, get ready for your next one. Your word is sorry. Can you repeat that word? I am sorry that I did it. Okay, tap out the sounds in sorry. I like to tap them out syllable by syllable and then write them down. And then say the whole word and then write it down. Did you spell sorry S-O-R-R-Y? If you did, that's right. Okay, the last one is tarred. Can you repeat that word? The road was tarred because they were fixing it. Tap out the sounds Think about the base and the suffix. And say the whole word and then write it down. Did you spell tard T-A-R-R-E-D? If you did, that's right. We have to double the R in that one because it follows that 1-1-1 rule. When we want to add a suffix that begins with the vowel like ed. Okay, now it's time to write some sentences. So teacher, you're going to read all 3 sentences to the student, and student, you'll choose the 2 that you would like to write. After you write a sentence, make sure that you check your work with CHOPS. Okay, student, that was great. Now let's do a quick review before you go. What sound does this one make? Did you say AR? If you did, that's right. And what sound does this one make? Did you say ER? If you did, that's correct. We've been talking about a new exception to the closed syllable rule. And here's an example of a word that fits into this exception category. We have 1 vowel followed by 2 R's. Can you explain to your teacher what happens when we have 1 vowel followed by 2 R's? What happens to this vowel sound? Did you explain that we get an unexpected result because we're expecting this to say and it doesn't? So what is that word? Can you tap in and say it? That word is berry. So when we have this 1 vowel followed by 2 R's, we get a short vowel sound that's happening. And that is the end of lesson 110. Great job. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.